You know, I always say this thing: the day that you decide to live your life in the media is the day you decided to dance with the devil. Few days ago, I saw a barrage of videos on the streets of YT, and these videos had some kind of title that shocked the hell out of me. It's not the first time that these types of videos were done, attacking or coming out to make some kind of claim, false claim. But this time it really hit different. This time it hit different. So, guys, I don't know how many of you came across these claims on the streets of social media, on the streets of YT, rather. I don't know if you saw a video that Mogesi did on his channel. Also, the reactors, quite a few number of the reactors ran with the video. One of them went as far as saying that they have proof, full proof, that the video that Mogesi did is legit. I want to play some clip here on the channel this morning. It might be unsettling to some people, but in order for me to give you an understanding as to where I'm coming from, let me just let me just play this clip and then we will come right back. Let's listen in.
Now, right here, we are here to talk about things that I'm seeing on the street from 3 hours ago, and I'm like, you guys have to be joking. You guys have to be joking because boys are on the street. And the trending story from Nyabohanse right now is that Hondad has reigned. I don't know done what to con mom using a what? Is it a machete? Not a machete, even a what? A hoe. Or what did the boy say? And I'm like, are we serious? You know, the things that people joke about, I don't joke about minors issues and gender violence, GBV, gender-based violence stories. I don't. Okay? It doesn't matter who you are, even when there are issues and allegations about someone called Rorosita. We were not here joking about those issues because those are not issues to joke about. All right, we might be here having all fun games every other day, coming here looking for stories all over the place just for entertainment purposes, but things like those we don't joke about. How
No, before we go further into this whole story, alleged 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 story, I want to make a disclaimer. It's not the first that we've been down this lane. It is not the first that we've been down this lane. We have seen claims like this numerous times before. No, I guess you heard everything that she said. That was coming out of the breaking news at that time, some 2 days ago in Nyabohansi. You heard what she said. For those of you who are just joining, I want to welcome you to today's premiere and also ask in the same time that you hit the like button as you enter, and don't forget to join the conversation in the comment section. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, kindly, guys, look around, feel free to join the family. Just know that you are in a safe place. So we go back to today's topic. You've heard what she said was trending, and we've been down this road before. What shocked me the most, what shocked me the most about this whole story is that this happened right after David Jr. went after Lucas the Traveler. I mean, life can be life in. Anything can happen at any given moment. But what shocked me the most, you see, I'm looking at this from the flip end. Yeah? What shocked me the most that this story broke exactly after David went and exposed Lucas the Traveler for putting his father's image on his thumbnail and making some fake stories. Did you notice if you've seen the images, which you will see somewhere in the clip further on, did you notice how these boys were carrying on? All right. I said before that, the day that you decide, if one decides to live their life in the public, is like it's the day that you chose to dance with the devil. And my reason for saying this is that the amount of things that is going to be coming at you, left, right, and center, you will be constantly under attack. Whether the story them go so or them no go so, you will have to be prepared because you are like you would be walking on charcoal. You'll be walking on fire every day of your life. You will be scrutinized, all kind of things. Now, I don't know if I should dub Mogesi's video a PR stunt because the celebration in that video, now mind you, it's not that things cannot happen, but I cannot help but look at the way how these boys were celebrating in the video. I cannot help but look and scratch my head. So tell me something. This is the way you celebrate somebody getting beat up, if that's the case. Honestly, especially somebody that age. You understand? Somebody who have done you no wrong. This woman would have done you no wrong. And yet you would take it so joyously and run to the internet to make a massive blow up out of it, a blunder on the internet. Now, word on the street is that due to the fact that David Jr., D. Mwangwa, none of the kids never respond to the allegations. It is so. Due to the fact that they never respond to those allegations, it simply means that it is so. That is what they're saying on the streets of YT. Let me tell you something. This is the West. And I'm not going to stay here and judge nobody's culture. that them have from eons. But also, am I not going to stay here and encourage neither of the behaviors, alleged ones, the alleged one, or the one that the father is accused of at this point? I did not take my eyes and see it. The one that the father is accused of, and also neither will I condone the behavior of those young boys that came out to celebrate that kind of action towards an elderly woman. No, hell friggin' no. I am not here to condone none of those behavior. Neither if the man laid his hands, nor those boys coming out to celebrate that she was dealt with in that way. This is so shameful. Now, up to this point that I am sitting here, I am saying that all of this that they came out to make headlines with, to me at this point, even though some neighbor, whoever that neighbor is, I don't know the person. I don't even remember ever seeing him. I don't know. Even if that guy is really the neighbor, how would he have seen anything of that caliber? Look how tall the walls are. Okay, so he said he heard some kind of noise, and he heard David Jr. shouting after the father, allegedly shouting after the dad not to be doing this to my mom, whatever, whatever. I want to ask you guys, if your neighbor, any one of you that is under the sound of my voice, or you're watching me right at this point, what kind of hatred would you have for your neighbor so much that you would want to run to social media knowing the damage to these people's character that it will cause? What kind of hatred or whatever, how could you despise? Let me not use, 'cause hate is a strong word. How could you despise your neighbor this much to want to go to a pack of hyenas in the village, hungry hyenas in the village, so you guys could turn on your cameras, create a storyline, and you feed that information to the public? It was, if it happened within the realms of their own compound. The time you take to go on social media, you know, call the rascal police. Eh? Not the police you have to call. See how stupid these people are. You're there. You hear your neighbor in distress, and you are going to run to your so-called goons and homies to give them a breaking story just because these people choose to live their blood clot life in the public. Yo, you're gonna run to your homies, so-called, so you can make a video. How does that money? How does that money even last? How? Is that something really for you guys to be rich? Yo, let me explain something. People, I'm a very crazy ass person when we're ready, yeah? I'm very crazy and I can rat like mad. And for me to have to be speaking like this, me telling you, turn off on your ears. For the ones who understand what me I say. I'm a Jamaican and I'm gonna give it to you just like this. When we reach the edge. Oh, yeah, go sit down at the people in fence side. How are you going to sit at the people's fence, listen to them in distress, and laugh, run and go and call your friends and give them story, tell them what you hear, how distressful it was over your neighbor's fence? With the police. The police station, they're just up the road, just a few steps up the road from where that house is. And you mean to tell me, say, you prefer to go round behind the car and go call Mogesi and tell Mogesi to come and make a video with you instead of calling for help? You said you heard the woman. As according to them in the video, so them hear the woman calling for help. Let me tell you something. Sometimes it's best me just chill and leave these kind of things alone because when we reach to this altitude, no telling what gonna come out of my mouth. So this is why I'm saying that something is wrong with the story. Something wrong with the story. It don't make no sense. So fool you alone so stupid that you're going to sit and hear somebody bawling woy 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 woy. And instead of you go, even kick off the ratted gate if you have to, cause whatever. Do something. Do something. You're just gonna stand up and listen and laugh. Come here, come here, come here, come here, listen over there. That one day they get on licking and ratty judge. Jesus of Nazareth. I think the last time I spoke about this, I reminded you guys of me growing with my great aunt. I grew up with my great aunt. And there was this man, you know, that my great aunt was with. And he would drink. This guy would drink. And when he's drunk, he would come and rap on the windows, rap on the door, rap on the windows, rap on the door, and nobody would be able to sleep as long as he's out there. And the very night that he laid his hand on one of them window pane, a window pane, just so he could push his hand through the glass, the broken glass, and open the door and unlock the door to come in. It was the first and the last he ever did such thing because all of us as kids in the house turned down upon him blouse and skirt and him never had an easy time. So even the kids are standing off and brushing things off and make it look like it is okay. It shouldn't go so. Respect my backside foot. It shouldn't go so. Anyway, I'm standing to what I was saying. That story seems to have a hole in inside of it. Period.
How many times will we hear that Conmam has received blows from Condad on the street? Up to when now the boys are saying that, yeah, we had this happened, and my ex-grandson was screaming at the dad. And I'm like, hey, wait. Before we even begin the show, I will welcome you. My ex-grandson, you're busy right now. I'm seeing your premiering videos, eh? When it's another family and this thing is happening, you'll be running up and down to the police, taking their women to take them to a safe haven. How many times are you going to be screaming and stopping your dad from doing this to your mom?
This is the thing what I'm saying. This is the thing what I'm saying, guys. Some few days ago we saw where Marwa came out and was saying that his mom was in Nairobi for family business. I think that story broke around about that same time. That story broke round about that same time. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like things don't happen in families. Me and my husband mouth does meet all the time. I'm in a back down. I don't back down a blouse and skirt. Me now back down. Neck and neck. Sometimes one little voice does tell me, don't say nothing. If you see certain things, don't say nothing. But then the other little voice over the other head, over the other side, two sides your brain have. The other little voice does say, yes, say something. Tell him to move the cup. And he will say, woman, you're too miserable. I say, I'm not miserable. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you so if I'm not around, then other people or who else to come will not be having this kind of issue. So you know how man stay. I'm going to mouth him off. I am going to mouth him off. I'm not going to stand down. Well, I'm from the West. And I am not going to take, again, I said, I am not going to take my culture and try to shove it down nobody's throat. Some places in Africa have a culture where they would do these things instead of disciplining wives as if they're children. A full time them something they stop. And a lot of these kids, because they grew up in the homes where it's normal, they don't know how to deal with it. Even this one sitting down on the television here talking as if she's never experienced these kind of things. It is the same culture Kenya she come from. She not come from Mars. She's from Kenya. And many of those parts. So don't mind them coming here behaving as if life don't be life in. Even in the West here, I had a sister that passed during when it had a lockdown and from leukemia. And the first time I met my sister, I'm telling you, the same night, something will happen. Imagine I meeting my sister for the first time, right? And that same very night, like I say, I am somebody who is not gonna stand down. She flighted just like a me. And him say something now, she say something again. And a neck and neck. And the things that I saw happen, I had to go and give evidence. And I end up in a police station the same night that I met with her for the first time, having to give evidence. Because a man decides a woman fi get slapped up. That are the something. That was the whole thing. And I had to go and give evidence. And girl decides that she now stand down cause boy I forget jam. Fast like a that. Fast like a that. Now I'm not here preaching that people should use other motives and don't learn to walk away when trouble come or ask for help in the right way, use the authorities or whatever. But you get what I'm saying? Sometimes when kids grow up in that kind of toxic environment, them don't know right from wrong. They think that these things are a-okay. And that's why you would have seen those boys running out there to rejoice. That's why you'd have seen that neighbor running out to go and give news, whether or not it go like that. Because them think it is a okay something, it's a all right something. It's okay. Yeah. And this one sitting and talking in this manner and saying that she don't like what is going on. You don't like what is going on, so why you run come to the social media then? Then you should have done a welfare check, call Never police station and tell Never say police them or whomever, wherever the hell, and tell them that, well, you think that something is going on because people is saying this on social media, they should dig in it. Do it then. Do it. Don't come to social media. So you yourself are part of the problem because you're not doing anything. You're just making content. So you're just adding more problems on top of that. You're not helping. Nobody has gone there, I swear. I'm sure, rather. Sorry, not swear. Swearing is a bad thing, even though I did some before. I'm sure nobody has gone there to do a welfare check on this lady up until this point. Okay? And something in the back of my mind tell me that this story is just a freaking hoax and a blunder again from those boys. Payback because Davy exposed Lucas for what he was doing. Yeah? Even though Davy was helping his family, is helping his family. I just have a strong feeling that it was something for them to do like just do something to clap back. I don't know. Because it's not the first that they try these kind of stunts. It's not the first. And also, this thing that I spoke about earlier, when I say The word on the street that is that it had to go so because none of the children responded. This thing, is it the first you guys ever see something happen like people coming up with stories and they just didn't respond? None of the kids respond to anything that the people saying? Is it the first we're seeing this kind of behavior? Is it everything that they're gonna have a run come out here and respond to? Teeth and tongue will have to meet. And if the man really put him hand on a woman, that's bullshit. And if me as a big grown ass adult child, can no baby, none of the kids are babies. And if I as a grown ass adult child stand up there so and see like my mother in that kind of distress, you think say gongo so? You have to come out. You have to go come out and let go from yes so. You can't stay yes. I don't care what love you love and what you give. You have to go leave. You have to go bunks. Well, you can circle back if you decide to make things work. Got teeth and tongue off your meat. But you're not gonna stay here and put my mother in a distress and expect say me gonna be alright with it. Vice versa. Mama, my mother now go can put my father in a distress and expect say that I'm going to be alright. Those types of distress. Guys, just understand say I'm trying to choose some kind of words because of the platform. You understand? I want to stay advertiser friendly. Want the content to stay advertiser friendly. So certain words I'm trying to use other words to as substitute. Let's listen in some more. Cause this year one year no really sit well with me, a blouse and skirt. It don't sit well with me.
And you can't tolerate that when it happens in another family where you're busy sourcing for content. Muratore Lamborghini Express, until when is your dad going to be whooping conma on the street? We just hear stories from corners all over the place. This is the story that is on the street right now. And the boys in the village are dropping videos day in, second by second.
So what she's saying there is that the younger son, David Jr., would run to other people's relationship. Like she's talking about what happened to Martin. What's her name? Matiko, when he took Matiko's a woman and from whatever abuse that he was, when he saved Matiko's woman, I'm trying to just leave certain words off. When he took Matiko's woman from where she was and took her to safety, and also what he did for what Morimi's woman name again? Yeah, can't remember her name right now. When he took her also away to safety, why is it that he's always busy taking other people's woman to safety and not his mother when she's in distress? That's what she's saying right now. Davy. Davy is making content and he's too busy making content, and because it is content, and that's why he's taking other people's wives from them. That story they kind of confusing because if he saw live that things happening and he decides to help, he decides to help. Should he had let them be and stay in the mud and sink? Should he had let them be? Would you be okay if he let them be? Are you just trying to compare that he's doing this and not doing that? Anyway, I'm not arguing on that point. The whole matter is that nobody nobody at this point is doing anything other than coming out, emphasize on the whole situation. Did you do a welfare check? Did you? No, you didn't.
And I was like, if it is one person saying, I'd be like, hey. But if it's a collection, and if someone came there and said they saw it, I'd be like, it's not right. Justice for Conmam. When Conmam did a video here the other day, and guys were like, hi, Conmam, are you okay? Conmam, you look tired. Conmam, what is the problem? And yesterday I reacted on a video where Muratore was coming to defend Conmam and all these talks that is on the street from what we see, that someone called Rosita is not giving a good reception. What did he say? He said Conmam went to Nairobi to settle some family issues.
Exactly. That's exactly what he said. And prior to the last, actually, no, not prior, the last video that I saw of Congrats mom, she was tired. At one point, she was eating something and she could hardly, she was like, in a hurry to go and sit and relax to talk to you guys. I just want to make this content. I need to make this content because I'm tired. I'm going here, I'm going there. Listen, that woman is in her 60s. And even me myself does feel so weary at times if I do anything out of the normal extracurricular activities that I do. You understand? If me know I normally go to town, go to the supermarket, and then I add something else, go somewhere else on top of that, I feel so weary and beat down. Sometimes just by even watching, you guys behave like this on the internet, it wears me down. I can't even, I have to wait it off to come back and make it cool down to come and make the content because I feel so beat down and tired. Mentally. I feel so beat down and tired mentally. I swear. Oh my God. None of you guys are helping anything. None of you guys are helping anything. And this family, like, you know, literally giving their best out there, working hard, doing their content. Congress mom don't really have to do shit, as far as I'm concerned. She don't have to take that damn camera. But the kids urge her on because that would be a little side hustle, and also it keeps her engaged. I know she can go in the field with her husband, neck and neck. She was even talking in that video about cabbages and stuff, and did she say cabbage? Whatever she wanted to plant, like some stuff what she wanted to do. And the thought crossed my mind. I'm like, that's a nice project. That would be just how my mother would be, even though my mom is older than her. But my mother would have wanted to, actually not wanted. My mother planted some ratty judge tree. Like some of those, even the jackfruits are as tall as I am, 5 feet and change. That's how big some of those jackfruits when they come. My mother is very active, as old as she is. Active because and she stay in her garden because it's therapeutic and it keeps her engaged. You'll be calling the house, you'll be calling that phone from morning till night. You don't get her. Where she is? In the garden. What those things that Congressman been doing from the other day, doing the pipe, the plumbing, running here, running there, saw her on a motorbike, and she was even pleading with you guys. Guys, one of these days I will just things will just happen. I will just be driving. You will see me driving. Da, 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 da. Da. But for now, please allow me to go on the bike. And she sounds so sweet. She sounded so honest, so genuine because she knows how the streets of YT is, how people will come out and chastise, and not even the chastisement for the motorbike. Sometimes it's out of good heart, but some of them will come and chastise. Or they have vehicle, they buy and they won't even let somebody drive her where she want to go. Yes, somebody could drive her to take her where she want to go, but she's an African woman. She's used to her bada. And if that's what she want to do, let her do it. Let her be. Give her the independence. Don't take these away from her. The very time that you take away these type of independence from them, they start to do breakdown. Anyway, the whole point of the matter is if anything of the sort happens, like how them come out claiming, I'm really sorry for that. If it did happen indeed, I'm sorry that it had to happen this way and sorry that it is happening if that's the case. And I will not condone any such behavior. And if it does and is still happening, kids should know when it is time to step up. When things are not normal, that we have gone away from the cavemen days, and no way in the biblical way when we see nobody, nothing telling no man to put no hand on no wife. No, no, I will not agree with that. No, no, no. And kids, if you guys think it is okay and it is normal, it is freaking not. It's not. And the fact that you will stand up and speak back and rebel, that is one of the things that is making it hard for me to believe that that is really happening there in this time. Because you hear the conversations between those kids and their father, especially when they talk about politics and so on and so forth. And especially the daughter, she will stand very firm on her point. And I said to myself, she would have never. I don't think she would ever stand up in a civilized time like no. and allow for all of those things to be happening in behind the scenes. So that is one of the reasons why I don't really even believe, and I just feel like maybe something happened, an argument, da, 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 maybe, that neighbor escalated the whole thing. Let's listen in some more and then we will just come back.
Came back, she left her phone charging in the villa. Today morning, videos on the street is that Conrad is on Conma. The moment I saw Conmam's face swollen, just from looking as a reactor and just an audience.
Her face was not swollen. Her face was not swollen. Guys, let me see if we can find one. Let me see if I should have. Let's see if we could find picture somewhere. Let's see if we could find a picture somewhere. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. That is pure lies. Lies. That lady's face was always like that. You remember even her hand, um, it was a hand or something. Somebody was saying that she looked like her or some part of her was swollen. It was a hand. Can't remember. But if you look, even if you look at the Mongo has the same kind of skin. It's the type of skin. My mother has the same type of skin, which will look like it's swollen. It's just dark and very shiny because my mother is a very dark person. This little complexion that I got, it is from my father side. I was trying to look for image with Congrats mom. Oops. I want you to take a look at this. It's gonna cover something there, but I don't really care for that right now. Take a is this a swollen face, guys? Like seriously. Is Congrats mom's face swollen? This is a normal person. You see how I'm telling you, like I will find it so hard to believe anything that these people would come out here and conjure up like any kind of story they would come out these desperate stories and headlines. Uh, is this lady's face swollen? Please tell me. Nothing like that. She's tired. It's when somebody's just a little bit weary, they've been running up and down. This is even her posture, the way how she hold back, like she was reaching out for the bench even before she sat down to find it to sit down that day on the bench. She was reaching out, like she was just going back, like holding on, struggling to hold on to the benches because she's just tired. That was what it was given. It was given to me. Anyway, let me just remove that because I just had to show you guys that no such thing as Congrats mom's face was swollen. Lie, 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 lie.
A subscriber of hers, I was like, this is not the usual Conmam that we see.
Mm.
Where are you, David Jr., right now? Why are you not screaming, running to the police? Yeah? Why are you not taking your dad to the police?
Now, for me, honestly, like if it's true, that would be a good question. That would be a good question if the story is true. Like me say, teeth and tongue always will meet. You cannot have a perfect relationship like that. Nobody's perfect. People will. You remember one time um when her hand was broken and Masubo and Max one, especially Masubo one was the one, oh, she was beaten, badly, her hand was broken. Da, 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 da. Even though David came out and clarified and said she slid on the wet tiles in the floor and she screamed out for David to come and help her up because she fell on the floor. Marwa came out and said, sometime like they were just on the internet saying, "Ah, da, 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 da. Oh, she was chased from the house, and that's why she was down by Marwa. That's why she was at Marwa's house." Da, 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 da. And Marwa came out one day, and I remember him walking up the road with the camera in his hand, and he was saying, "Oh, every family has its own problems. Every family has its own problems, and I will not address something." He was saying like somehow like, so what? Even if anything like that should happen, every family has issues. He said issues. Every family has issues, will have issues. You understand? Which I totally agree because there's no There's no perfect relationship. None whatsoever. So like listening to these girls when they come out to do the reaction, sometimes, it really I would say to myself, you guys are from Kenya? I mean, I know there are different tribes, but believe me, all of them have very similar or same behavioral pattern, especially when it relates to these kind of things, because you will hear the people them in the village. You have different tribe in the village. I think you will hear this one say that one is a that and that one is a that, a Kisi or a Lua or whatever, man. You will hear people say they're saying, oh, this one, they're trying to work on this thing in the village because it is something that is happening all the time. They would attack these women like as if they would treat these women rather like these women are kids. Yeah. Like they are babies. That's how they will deal with them and trying to discipline them, so on, so forth, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know. Me now, as me say, I'm not trying to come and tell nobody about them culture. No relationship is no relationship is perfect. But all I'm saying is what really like coming out to rejoice about this whole situation. Now, this one was not rejoicing. She was just saying whatever she was saying. It should stop. Well, yeah, it should stop. It should stop. But you grew up in the same culture. You grew up in the same culture. Yeah? You grew up in the same culture. And coming out here to lambaste the kids when you yourself were sitting in the same shoe. You're coming out here to lambaste the children, them. You yourself would be sitting in the same shoe and pretending as if you don't know about these things because it is an African culture. You guys are still living in Kenya. You're still living in Kenya. And don't tell me that you've never seen anything like that happen while you were a kid. Maybe now they're older, they don't do these things anymore because everybody minding their business. Some people actually do also have a bad problem. Them have a bad temper. Them just terrible, and them have they need to be fixed. Cause them is just tyrants. And yes, we always hear Marwa say certain things about the past, but that simply doesn't mean that the man will continue when him have grown ass kids, continue doing these crap when him know that there's a high possibility that one day one of the kids might just pay him back. Ah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Until when will you guys look at conman being whooped left, right, center on this street, and you just bypass that and cover it like everything else is okay? But when another
I'm having a hard time to believe that. I'm having a very hard time to believe that, especially knowing how those boys from the village are desperate and hungry. So they will come up with lies. They would just take anything and make into a big story. You remember, even Ginto used to do the same thing until he ended up in the court with Marwa for something so simple, in a sense. I would say simple, not in a bad way, but how how easy he was caught and stopped in his tracks. So they would be out there, especially that neighbor who is probably looking for a quick cash piece of money for a breaking story. He himself might probably end up soon in trouble if this whole thing, you know, continues in this way and these people's names are being dragged on and on. Like I said, I know that there's a culture in Africa for men to behave in a particular way towards their wife. I know that the laws are trying to cut these things out, and I know that they're working on these things. Nobody's perfect, teeth and tongue will meet. But I'm having a hard time. That is my problem. I'm having a hard time piecing this thing together, knowing that the son came out and said the mother is away on business, family issues, some starting out some family issues in Nairobi, so on and so forth. Knowing that he came out and said that, and then Baps, those boys came out with the story. I'm having a hard time to piece these things together. And also, I am having even a harder time to think that these kids would come out, those grown kids that they have, would come out to social media and just tell you, oh, this is what is happening in my family. Da, 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 da. They're not going to do that. If there's something going on in the background, they're going to try to deal with it in the background. And what you see in the end, yeah, whatever happens in the end, they happen. Whether they have to go their separate ways or they fix things, let it, you understand? They're not going to come out here to be telling you guys left, right. I mean, some of them, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Not some of them, some things they might say, but things like that, so sensitive. I don't think they're going to be coming out here telling these things to you guys. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm having a hard time with this story. Anyway, my people, I hope that I didn't forget anything. I hope that I've covered enough. And I hope that she said enough that you guys get an understanding as to what's happening out there on the streets of YT and how deep and desperate people are when they want a story, when they want a big title and a thumbnail, when they want the headlines, how far they will go without even thinking about the consequences that it would bring for others. That's my reason for talking about this today. I am not here to say that it never happened or it happened. No, I'm not. I'm looking at the depths of how one would go to hear somebody next door in distress and run to social media to laugh about it instead of calling, going and looking to help, regardless of culture bullshit, regardless of the nonsensical culture that will say, oh, respect the elderly, la 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 la. You hear somebody calling for help, and you're gonna run to social media to laugh. Oh, we are nonsense, nonsense. What are you celebrating? If it's true, what are you celebrating? And then the other people them know coming out here to talk that the children won't address it. Are they supposed to come out here and say, yes, my father do this, that, or my mother do this, that on social media? Come on, man. Come on, man. Shame. Shame. That's why I am here. And that's what I came to talk about, my people. Anyway, leave your thoughts and your sentiments in the comment section. If you watch this far, also kindly remember to like the video before you exit. And if you're here for the first time and wondering should you join or should you not, please consider to join the family. Also remember that I have some membership packs starting at 199 a month. Support the channel. Support the craft, no? Hit the join button to join my membership. Just subscribe for 199 a month, the cheapest. Yeah. And you'll be first in line to get new content and tailored content actually. Be blessed, walk good, and I'll see you guys on the next one.